Hi, I'm Wayne North. I've got a grandson, Mark. I tell you, when he was a little guy, he was off by himself all the time. Never knew what he was up to. But look what he's up to now, all by himself.
So, here's the deal. My flight instructor just left. He got out of the plane, and I'm supposed to solo for my first time ever. Kind of a big deal. So, please remember, the aircraft's going to be slightly lighter than it was before. It's going to affect performance. I feel like I should do a radio check just so I can talk to my instructor. Sebastian traffic, Cessna 59 Kilo, radio check.
Loud and clear.
Thank you. That was him. Alright. Before I go anywhere, since he's grading me. We landed, so I'm going to do a run up on my, check my carbs. So 1800 RPM. Check left. Drop of about 100. Back on both, recover. Right. Drop of about 50, which is within specs. Engine instruments in the green, fuel pressure's good, oil pressure's good, I mean. Good. Alright, good. Run-up was successful before starting out. Before takeoff, parking brake. Cabin doors, windows. My window's open. Close my window. Good. Flight controls free. And correct. Yep. No flaps. Set. Good. Okay. Just pull in. Set my run up. Radios, autopilot's off. Trim is set. Flaps. Good. Check brakes. Brakes are good. Alright. Taxi to runway 10 and hold short. Just for funsies, let's do this too.
900, scattered. Ceiling 4,800, broken 5,000, overcast. Temperature 2 Celsius, 2.17, altimeter 3030. Sebastian Municipal Airport. Automatic weather observation. 2110 Zulu. Weather, wind 070 at 16, gusts 19er. Visibility 10.
Alright. So, a little stronger crosswind than we had before, and I could convert to taking runway 5 if I wanted to. Got equidistant between the two, but we'll continue on runway 10. Sebastian traffic, Cessna 59 Kilo, departing runway 10 for left closed traffic, staying in the pattern. Sebastian traffic. Ailerons in, deflecting for wind. Full power. Engine instruments in the green. Airspeed indicator is live. Gonna hold the nose down. 65, that's VX. Rotate. That's VY right there. 75, we're gonna keep 75. This little airplane's like a little sports car without Mark's big old butt in it. Mark Cannon, that is, my instructor. My name's Mark Taylor. Still holding 75. Just crossing 500 feet. 600. I don't see any traffic. We're good. 700, that's 300 feet below pattern altitude. We are free to rotate onto our crosswind leg. Maintaining our climb, we're going to be approaching, 1,010 feet or something? Pattern altitude, which happens to be right about there. So we're going to reduce our power, roll out onto our crosswind, 1900 RPM, bam, 1,000 feet exactly. Like a rock star. Whatever. We'll see if I can land. That's where we find out if I can survive or not. Pretty cool. Alright. So I don't want my base leg to be too long, so I'm gonna rotate downwind now. Before I do, before landing checklist, let's commence that bad boy. Alright. My seat back, seat belts secured and locked. Autopilot's off, mixture's full rich, trim set for landing. Fuel selectors on both, fuel shutoffs obviously, and lights are in. Before landing checklist is complete. Right in time for us to be abeam the numbers, so we're going to reduce power down to 1500 RPM and apply 10 degrees of flaps. I wonder if the GoPro is going to be able to see this, but we should also keep in mind that giant rainstorm that's off to our left. You'll see it in a second. Alright, we're going to rotate into our base leg here. 20 degrees of flaps, looking for 75 knots, which we're at right now. Push the nose down a little bit as we balloon up, lose some speed when we go through there. Feel that rain? Gross. Alright, so we're on our base leg now, looking real good. Might as well talk. Sebastian traffic, Cessna 59 Kilo, turning final to runway 10, full stop. Sebastian traffic. Alright, good. Knots. This is Coffin's Corner, as Greg says. It's where pilots die because they slow down too much. That final turn into your final leg, gotta make sure you maintain that speed. Alright, I'm like super high, so I'm just gonna like totally board slip this thing because I'm really, really high. Alright. So, there, I just dumped a whole bunch of altitude. And now I feel a lot better about where I am. So I'm gonna come back on power if I need it, but I don't think I do. I do a little bit. Alright, it was a little rough. First solo landing ever. A little rough. Not the worst. I have done worse, but it wasn't very good either. That crosswind now. Alright. Normally I would call clear of the runway here, but nobody here. Alright, Mark said I can keep doing this until it gets dark. So I'm going to do it again. curious to think about, how did coming into ground effect, how did having less weight in the aircraft change it? I brought it down, I dropped my speed kind of rough, so I landed hard, but I didn't bounce, so that's good, right? But the landing right before this one, I like greased it in. It was sweet, which I think got Mark to like hop on out for me just to bang it into the ground. I'm kind of going kind of fast here. Slow down. I wonder if he wants me to run up the engine time. I will. I think so. Yes. Okay. Good. Left. Drop of 50. Back on both. Recovery. Right. Drop of maybe 25. Recovery. Engine instruments in the green. Everything looks nominal. Back to idle. Does not die. We are good. You're right. Sebastian traffic, Cessna 59 Kilo, taking runway 10 for a left departure, staying in the pattern, Sebastian traffic. I didn't say that quite right. Left pattern, not departure. That's what I did wrong. Okay. So I got my wind still coming off from the left, so I'm gonna put that in like that. I'm gonna fly full power quickly. Engine instruments in the green, airspeed indicator is alive. There we go, 65, 70, 75 knots. Climbing out VY. Bumpy as hail. But you know what? It ain't no thing. Ain't no thing like a chicken wing. Whoa! Alright. 500 feet. Like a paramotor bounces you around. Well, not this much, I guess, right? Because if you get bounced too hard, the lines go slack. 300 feet less pattern altitude, gonna be rotating to the crosswind component of our pattern. Alright, 900 feet. Look good. There you go, crosswind component. Alright, and boom, there's 1,000 feet. Reduce power. Cool. Our seats are upright and locked. Seatbelts are fastened. Autopilot is off, mixture's full, and trim is set for landing. Fuel selectors on both. Fuel shutoffs, obviously, and the lights are on as required with the landing light. Cool. The 4 landing checklist is complete. Cool. Downwind. Looks like that wind is kind of progressing north with all that rain. Alright, I'm about 100 feet high. About a little less than 100. I'm just going to reduce power a little bit early to 1500. Get rid of that 100 feet. And boom, it's gone. And we are being the numbers. 95 knots, 10 degrees of flaps, 1500 RPM for power. $80 knots, 75. It's gonna settle. There you go. Boom. Alright. Turn base. Still clear right. Little more power. Drop to 1450. 20 degrees flaps, looking for 75 knots. There it is. Sebastian traffic, Cessna 59 Kilo, Turning final for runway 10, full stop, Sebastian traffic. Clear right. Who's clicking on the B tab? Someone trying to get the lights to turn on for me or something? Is that you, Mark? What you doing? Alright. Line it up. So high again. Really high. I gotta forward slip this thing in like every time. Oh, you know what it is? It's probably because big old heavy Mark isn't in here and I'm gliding. Okay, that's why I'm high. Alright, don't get distracted. This is the most important part, bro. Oh, greaser! See, I can do it. I can do it, jeez. I just went zoop right on in there. Alright, clear of runway, full stop. This is where I'm supposed to put my flaps up, but, you know, they say on a short field landing, you dump those flaps, like you get rid of them as soon as you're on the ground, so you stop flying. So, I don't see the problem with, if you're gonna do a full stop, I don't see the problem with, like, dumping your flaps to zero as soon as you're safely on the ground, right? Like, do I have to wait until I'm behind the stop bar? I don't know. So, if you're curious, what is today? I wrote it down, right? Didn't I? The 19th? Yeah, November 19th, 2020. Hold on. Yeah, local time, about 4:20 p.m. Go to FlightAware. My tail number is November 5359 kilo. You can see a record of this flight. No deal. Alright. Do it again. Do it again. Oops, oops. Full stop. Good. Flight instrument. 3 incorrect. 1800 RPM. Left. Drop of 50. Back on both. Recovery. Right. Imperceptible drop. Recovery. Engine instruments in the green. Go to idle. Does not die. That is good. Sebastian traffic, Cessna 5359 kilo for departure runway 10. Right traffic, staying in the pattern. Sebastian traffic. I'm in a high wing Cessna. Kind of pivot my wing to the right so I can see past the high wing to make sure you're not coming. Alright. Ailerons into the wind. Full power. Engine instruments in the green. Airspeed indicator is alive. 55 knots. Holding the nose down. 65. Rotate. Alright, climb out. DY. I'm looking at floor flight, and yeah, I can see my glide slope bubble getting real big real quick. That's cool. Never looked at it while flying before. Here's 300 feet below pattern altitude, which here's 700 feet. Look left, clear left, turn left, down onto our crosswind ledge. I don't see anybody flying. It's like such a nice night too. Totally be flying. Better than yesterday. Alright. There you go. And 3, 2, 1. There's 1,000 feet. Boom. 1900 RPM. Boom. Level flight. Wow, wow, wow. Alright, good. Seat backs are upright and locked. Seatbelts are secure. Autopilot's off. Trim is set for landing. Fuel selector is on both. Fuel shutoff is in. And my lights are on as required. Before landing checklist is complete. And I'm high, a little bit higher. A little higher from my pattern. About 120 feet high. Alright. And we'll beam the numbers. 1500 RPM. Looking for traffic as we go. Looking for 80 knots. There it is. I'm going to extend my downwind just a scotchy scotch, so I don't have to forward slip it into final. Alright, 20 degrees flaps, there it is. Looking for 75 knots. Also, since there's a bit of wind, what was it, 11 knots, and I didn't write it down the second time I listened to it, but on our base leg, got to crab into it just a little bit. Why does it say I haven't lost any altitude at all? Still says I'm at 1,000 feet. That's super weird. I should look into that. Maybe that's why all of these are coming in super high. Taking forever to lose altitude. Alright. So, there's 30 degrees flaps. Clear right. Kick our tail out here. 79. Good. 500 feet. Alright. Windsock. Windsock looks like it's fairly significant from the left. 70 knots. Don't let the boost come up. Okay, so that one was kind of, but I greased it in. But yeah, I had power and all sorts of crap right up until in there. That was weird. Alright. Do it again. Alright. Hold short. Flaps up. I did not remove them this last time. Tell you what, it's better than Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020, son. Yeah. You know what that simulator doesn't give you? A good view, the actual feelings of G-forces in your butt, like nothing. All it gives you is a crappy view that you can only see a little tiny bit outside the the cockpit, you either have to look at the instrument panel or outside, but not both at the same time, goodness. But once that thing gets VR, whew, might be good. Who knows? But for now, you know what? Live life, get outside, do the real thing. Find a flight instructor. I found a really good one. You know what? Just forget his name until after I have my private pilot certificate, and then look him up. But don't look him up until I'm done. I don't want to share. Apparently our schedules align pretty good. Don't want to share with you. You can have them later. Alright. Let's see. So we had like friggin' 40 gallons of fuel in here, man. I've been flying for an hour and 17 minutes. That's cool. Alright. 1800 RPM. Left. Little drop. Both. Right. Imperceptible drop. Back on both. Engine instruments the green. And back to idle. Good. Okay. Flaps, no flaps. Mixtures, full on. Trim set, fuel on both. Lights on as required. Sebastian traffic, Cessna 59 Kilo. Departing runway 10, left pattern. Staying in the pattern, Sebastian traffic. I should probably come up with a standard thing I say, because I bet if we rewound this video, I've said it differently every single time. Every single time. Alright. There we go. Left aileron input in. Feet on the floor. Full power. Engine instruments in the green. Airspeed indicators alive. They're 60 knots. 65. Current ground effect. 75. Be wide. Trying to keep it there. Okay. Good. Stabilized. Pretty bumpy down there next to the ground. The wind coming off those trees and stuff. 75 knots. 500 feet. Here comes 600 feet. 600 feet. Cool. I don't see anybody over the water. Don't see anyone to the right. 700 feet, 300 feet below pattern altitude. Turning left onto our left. Cross one leg. There we go. There's 1,000 feet. Reduce power to 1900 RPM. Good. Alright. Seatbacks. Upright and locked. Seatbelts securely fastened. Autopilot's off. Trim is set. Mixture's full in. Fuel selector is on both. And lights are on as required. Still. Cool. And I have not gained altitude. That's very good. Look at me learning. Alright. Clear left, turning left, onto our down one leg. And allow a very slight descent. The numbers, 1500 RPM. Below, 110 knots, 10 degrees of flaps. There's 80.
Airways traffic, helicopter 25 miles northwest, heading southeast bound towards Airways, going to be passing on the east side of the field at the jumpers.
20 degrees of flaps. Turning base. 75 knots. There we go. We're on base, looking to the right, looking in front of us, looking to the left. Don't see any traffic at all. Carrying 75 knots into this turn. Now we're going to go 30 degrees of flaps. Good. Sebastian traffic, Cessna 59 Kilo on final for runway 10, full stop, Sebastian traffic. We go, almost 70 knots, 70 knots. Mark's gonna be so happy because my left wing is down. That's what he wants. He wants me to come in a slip, basically. Because don't you worry. 60 now, 65. Because don't you worry. Son? You don't call me son. But Aero cockpit, shut up. 69. 5. There. That was okay. That is okay. I think I got the nose kicked out just in time, but I was definitely not pointed right at first. I definitely hit one tire first, which I think softened what that could have felt like. Alright. So since my instructor is like staring at me, this time, the jitters are kind of gone, right? So now I need to, he would say I should always shoot for perfection. For instance, the fact that the wind is coming from my left, I should have the ailerons. Now it's coming from that behind me. That's, yeah, I did good. Elevator down, ailerons away from the wind. Very happy with that. Looking at my ailerons, my elevator. Gonna be like, finally, it only took your 5th time before you got that right. Right. Sweet crosswind, yo. Alright, so there's that. 1800. Left. Total drop. South. Right. Almost no drop. Engine instruments in the green. Back to idle. Good. Good. I don't see it. Right. Sebastian traffic, Cessna 59 Kilo. Departing runway 10 for left pattern. Staying in the pattern, Sebastian traffic. Left traffic, not pattern. Okay. I'll get it next time, coach. Time. Alright. Know thyself. How am I feeling? I am safe? How is my emotions? Internal factors. Alright. They're good. Alright. Ailerons in. Full power. Good. Engine instruments in the green. Oil pressure's good. Airspeed indicator coming alive. 50 knots. 55, 60, 65, 70, 75. Keep it right there, Chief. 75. Below pattern altitude, turning left, clear left. Also clear right. And boom, there's South Peak. Tapping into the wind. Backs are upright and locked. Belt secure. Autopilot's off. Mixer's full in. Trim set. Mixer's on both. Lights on as required. Before landing checklist is complete. Clear left. Turning left. Onto our downwind. Good. I require less power without mark. Okay, level flight. Beam the numbers below 110 knots, 10 degrees of flaps, looking for 80 at 1500 RPM. There we go. Better. We're going to make sure we actually descend here. There we go. Alright. 20 degrees of flaps. Looking for 75 knots. On base. Clear right. Clear left. Seriously, I'm floating like a little bees. Okay. Big clouds, yo. Clear right. $75 knots. Still clear right. Alright, good. 30 degrees flaps. Faster traffic, Cessna 59 Kilo on final runway 10, full stops. Faster traffic. Alright. Reduce power a little. Not that much. Alright. There we go. That'll make you happy. How much crosswind correction I gotta put in? It's a hell of a lot. Alright, come left a little. Good. Alright. That'll be perfect. Just for my instructor. was something. I wonder if he's getting video. That would be very helpful. That'd be super cool. Love to have it. I mean, that felt pretty good, but I also felt like the bottom dropped out like just a little bit. It didn't hit hard like my first landing. That one hit pretty hard, but still. Almost stormy night. Like there's huge rainstorms around us, but not right here, which is super cool. But the wind coming over those trees down there at the end of the runway, and it's like a little bucking bronco. At first you get hit with like this like headwind that just kind of slams you and you start sinking, but then somewhere in there, I don't know how far up ground effect, interacts with the plane, but it feels like you get like a little jet boost right in your butt. You start hauling, but then right after that you like slow down, and then you for sure really are in ground effect when you're close to the ground, over the runway, but it's like bumpy. You gotta keep going, man. Those windsocks are like straight out. There's no way in hails you would fly a paramotor in this. Kind of looks like Mark is bored. He got out of his golf cart. He's kind of walking over toward those hangars. Alright. Vital instruments. Still free and correct. Still got tires on the plane. 1800 RPM. Left, drop of 50, back to both. Right, drop of 40 maybe, back to both. Recovered, engine instruments in the green, back to idle. Okay. No annunciator lights. Mixture's full and trim set. Fuels on both. Lights on as required. For takeoff, checklist complete. Sebastian traffic, Cessna 59QA, departing runway 10, staying in the pattern. Sebastian traffic. Alright. Aileron set. Full power. Engine instruments in the green. Airspeed indicators alive. 65. 75. Below pattern altitude, clear left, turning left. Nine. 900 feet. Clear left, altitude. And there's my cross runway. I really love this airport, like a lot. Okay. Backs upright and locked. Seatbelts. Autopilot's off. Mixture's full and trim set Fuel on both, lights on as required before landing checklist is complete. Clear left, turning left. Alright. Repeating the numbers. Below 110 knots. 10 degrees of flaps. Keep the nose down, don't let it shoot up. There's 80 knots. I'm going to come down to 1400 RPM because it seems like I'm not losing altitude like at all at 1500. Alright, that's pretty low. So, come back on my power. Also, 20 degrees. Flaps. Keep the nose down. Keep the nose down. Alright. There you go. That's looking good. Clear right. Clear right. Alright. Passenger traffic, Cessna 59 Kilo, on final runway 10, full stop. Passenger traffic. My PAPI's just turned off. That's distracting. Not really using them anyway, but I thought if I do the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh wait, I have to do. And then 1. Right? Is that how you do? Didn't turn them on. Okay. Degrees of flaps. Looking at 65 knots. Coming in just a shade, but I'd call low. Alright, get that nose. Burr. Go. There. Good. 70 knots. 65 knots. I'll get the next one. Get the next one, bro. Okay. Got the airplane cleaned up. Still got wheels out there. So I left the throttle in just a little bit too much, like a little bit, which is too much. And so I was just kind of floating down the runway, is why I couldn't stop where I normally do. I was still going fast by the time I touched down. And I I was kind of playing with it too long, just over the runway. So when the bottom finally gave out, I think I dropped like a foot, maybe less than a foot, whatever. But it was a little bounce compared to the other ones. So I'm not sure. But it all comes back to that problem of it's cool to come in with some power on, just like a little bit longer than you should when you have a headwind or a crosswind component. But don't forget to pull it out, because otherwise you're just going to float, and then you're going to sit there floating until finally you just kind of drop. Which I'm sure a more proficient pilot can handle all of that and more, but I'm a newbie that doesn't know anything about anything, so yeah, it trips me out. Okay, the car stopped. Cool. Flaps, mixture in, trim, fuel on both, lights on as required, 1800 RPM. Good. Left, drop, both, right, both, engine instruments in the green, back to idle, light controls, green, correct and happy like they should be. They're right. Windstock still looking like I got a pretty hefty crosswind. The 40 degrees, which matches pretty much the wind from before. Sebastian traffic, Cessna 59 Kilo, departing runway 10, staying in the pattern, Sebastian traffic. I know Mark likes it if I say left closed traffic, but I always forget until after I say it. Okay. Ailerons facing left. Cool. Feet on the floor. Full power. Engine instruments in the green. Airspeed indicators alive. Air 60, 65, 75. Where'd my lights go? My lights in the cockpit just went out. How do we turn those back on? Okay, so I got the backup ones. Oh wait, do I have... Yeah, don't get too distracted by the lights. Oh, there we go, okay. They're just a little bouncy. Okay, 80 knots. Lights. Alright, 700 feet, 300 feet below pattern altitude. Turning left. To the left. There's 1,000 feet right there. Push the nose over. Reduce power. Good. No traffic at all. Seriously do this like all day long. Okay. Turning left. Base. Downwind. Dump. Alright. Left. Clear. There we go. Seatbacks, upright and locked, seatbelts, autopilot, mixture, trim, fuel selector on both, lights on as required. Good. My numbers, 1500, flaps, 10, 80 knots. 75 knots. And there we'll do 20 degrees of flaps. I am getting a hang of this whole altitude thing without Mark in the cockpit. They're right. Knots into the turn. 30 degrees flaps. Lined up. Did I ever push the record button? I did, right? Whatever. Distracted. So distracted. Distractible. Alright. 79. Coming in a little high, reduce a little bit of power. But I'm okay with it being high. Because I like dropping like a rock after these. Alright, power a little bit more. Straighten the nose out, there we go. That looks good. Alright, bounce. Be a bounce. Ballerina, sting like a bee. That's pretty good. That's funny. Ooh. The ailerons, elevator, counting for a tailwind coming from the right, rear right. Ailerons, full left. Elevator, right down. Alright. Left, little drop, both, recover, right, little drop, both, cover, engine instruments in the green, good. Flaps up, don't want them down. Mix your full end trim, fuel selector on both, shut off end, lights on as required. Forward, take off, checklist is complete. Alright, clear right. Sebastian traffic, Cessna 59 Kilo. Departing runway 10 for left close traffic. Staying in the pattern. Sebastian traffic. Boom, did it that time. I think I figured out why pilots on YouTube all talk really fast. It's because they say the same stuff rehearsed like I'm doing over and over and over and over and over until it's like beat into your brain and you can say it while you're sleeping, and I probably will. Left aileron's full. Counteracting wind. Feet on the floor. Full power. Engine instruments in the green. Airspeed indicators alive. 50 knots, 55 knots, 60 knots, lifting up, 75, good, keep it there. Below pattern altitude, look right, clear right, left. Is that why Mark doesn't know his right from his left? Is it catching? Is that like a communicable disease? The right-left thing? Alright, 1,000 feet, push nose over. Boom! Roller coaster. 1900 RPM. That's fun. I bet I'd get in trouble for hitting 1,000 feet like that in a check ride, where I make my examiner feel like she's at the top of the crest of a roller coaster, but holy crap, it's fun. Alright. Alright. Look left, clear left, turn left. See, I can say left. Alright, alright. We're doing good. Alright. Downwind. Good. Seatback's up and locked. Seatbelt secure. Autopilot off. Mixer full in. Trim set for landing. Fuel selectors on both. Lights on as required. Beam the numbers. Less than 110 knots. I'm at 1500 RPM and 10 degrees of flaps. Good. Shooting for 80 knots. Ba, 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 ba. Don't let that crosswind push you towards the runway. Nope, nope, nope. Might want to crab for it. Good. 80 knots. Good, good, good. Still haven't descended at all. Not even a little. Come on, slow down, bud. Alright. 45 degrees from the numbers. 20 degrees of flaps. That'll help me descend. Looking for 75. Clear left, turning left, of course. Base. 75, 75. So I hear 75. I hear 75, 75. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. Alright, there's my base. My base. My base. My base is on fire. Alright. Clear right. This is like the best way to have a sunset flight ever. Man. Even more fun than the paramotor sunset, which I know, paramotor people on the YouTubes are going to be like, no, but luckily only like 20 people ever watch my videos on YouTube. I haven't posted one since April, so no one's going to see this and argue with me. But I'm going to say your first solo in an airplane sunset beats your first paramotor sunset. That's my argument. I think it's solid. I'm still at 20 degrees flaps. I haven't gotten to 30 yet because, well, I'm getting my butt kicked up here like a little bronco. Alright. Feeling better about my glide slope being where I want it. So there it is. Let's line up that nose just the way Mark wants me to. Like so. Little much. Little much. There you go. Good. Sebastian traffic, Cessna 59 Kilo on final for runway 10. Full stop. Sebastian traffic. I should probably say that not when I'm like coming just over the fence line. Just extra brain power power that I shouldn't be expending. 70 knots, got lots of speed to bleed off here. That one was kind of rough. That one was rough. Rough. Yeah, and I'm on the left. Art doesn't want me on the left. Alright, this time, I'm not going to be on. Left, pedal drop, both, recover, right, pedal drop, cover, then instruments in the green. All the backlighting is kind of like going nuts. So if that's going to be a continued problem, I might have to call it because I won't be able to see well. I have to land before it gets to nighttime anyway. Right. Sebastian traffic, Cessna 59 Kilo, departing runway 10 for left close to traffic, staying in the pattern, Sebastian traffic. There, got it down. Mark kind of looks sad over there in the golf cart. Like he's lonely, he'd rather be in the plane flying. No? A full aileron. When feet on the floor, full power. Engine instruments in the green. Airspeed indicators alive. 65. Boom. 75. Boom. Keep it there. Narnar bumps, man. There. Nice and smooth up here, 500 feet. Alright, 700 feet, 300 feet below pattern altitude. Look left, clear left, turn left, maintain speed 75 knots in our climb. And there's 1,000 feet. Oh! There we go.
Airway Unicom, experimental 905, X-ray over.
What? Sounds like he's trying to call his friend. That ain't me, Holmes. Clear left, turning left.
Do you think they're closing at 5:30? You're going to fall up there at 5 minutes.
Why are you having a freaking conversation, man? Because
yeah, about probably get there about 17:30. So they close up pretty quick there.
seatbelt secured, extra full in, trim set, fuel on both, lights on as required. Dim numbers.
Would you do that? I can do 35.
90 knots, 10 degrees of flaps.
Appreciate it, thanks.
So pretty. That sunset, you see that? Freaking pretty. Alright. Clear left, turning left. 20 degrees of flaps. Keeping an eye on our speed, we're at 80 knots. We're going to slow down to 75.
Whatever traffic, 150 is 5 miles from the west. Whatever traffic.
Wow, wow, wow.
Sebastian traffic, Cessna 59 Kilo, turning final, runway 10. Full stop, Sebastian traffic.
Wow, 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 wow. Okay. You're right. Nobody's sharing the airport with me, it's just all me. My airport. 30 degrees of flaps. Alright. Reduce our power. Feel like we're going slow as hell over the ground. Which is why coming in high is no problem. Yeah, there's my little kick in the pants. One of them anyway. Oh, 5 knots. 65 knots. That's what we want. 65. Ah. What I did wrong there, aside from my approach with floating on
Airway traffic to experimental 10. 40 miles to the northwest, planning on making a fuel stop. Be there in about 10 minutes.
was I dumped all my flaps out all at once, which caused me to sink towards the runway at full cock. But I wasn't too worried about it because I had quite a bit of altitude. I was just kind of feathering the elevator to get me to level off and get into ground effect, which worked out pretty good. Alright. 300 feet below pattern altitude, and I'm all distracted. Clear left, turning left.
Whatever traffic, Cessna 150 is 2 miles from the west. Whatever traffic.
Smokestacks upright and locked. Seatbelts secured. Autopilot is off. Mixture's full in. Off. Trim set. Fuel selectors on both. And lights are on as required. The full landing checklist is complete. Clear left. Turning left. Onto a downwind.
At 45-degree angle for the left downwind, runway 050.
Oh? He said a different airport, right? I missed that part. That's why you're supposed to say it at the end. Or when you're a dude like me and you're spacing and you forget the first thing he says. Winter Haven. That's what he said. I had to play it back in my memory. Winter Haven. Right? Okay. 80 knots, 10 degrees. We were being our numbers a while ago. Now we're just gonna look left, clear left. Alright, if I get my butt kicked too much on this one, I'm assuming I'm gonna land. I'm not gonna abort like I did the last time. But assuming I get my butt kicked like a lot, then I might want to just land and call it good. Sun's almost down anyway. I got less than half an hour on that thing before it's below the horizon.
150 entering left base, runway 050. This will be a stop and go. Wave check.
Keep my flaps at 10 right now. Knots. Clear right. Turning right. The final. Go.
Passenger traffic, Cessna 59 Kilo on final for runway 10, full stop, passenger traffic.
There we go. And 30 degrees of flaps. Bam. I kind of coasted through 20 there, I didn't mention it. Alright. Don't let those come up. There we go. There's that friggin' one. Where did Mark go? Friggin' look at the runway, dude. I bet we do one more. Because that could have been better. As they all could be. Alright. Lights cleaned up. Two, three, four, five. said, man. Okay. Well, he's not like waving me down or anything. It looks like he's playing. Okay. Left. Right. Stop at maybe 50 on both. Engine instruments in the green.
Sebastian traffic, Cessna 59 Kilo, departing runway 10 for left closed traffic, staying in the pattern, Sebastian traffic.
Ailerons full left into the wind. Engine instruments in the green. Airspeed indicators alive. Below pattern altitude, look left, clear left, turn left, right is clear, everything's clear. I see nobody anywhere. Let me turn my strobe on. People see me better. Alright. Go. Pattern altitude.
Upcat traffic, November 751, whiskey. About to join the downwind lag runway 33.
Autopilot off. Extra full in. Jump set. Fuel select on both. Lights on as required. Before landing checklist is complete. Looking at my fuel, looks like I burned maybe 10 gallons total so far. Turn it downwind. Clear left, turn left. And the numbers. Reduce power. 10 degrees.
Traffic, November 751, whiskey, crosswind lag runway 33.
20 degrees, flaps. Looks like I'm having a hard time slowing down. Clear left, turn left. $75 knots in the turn. Clear right. Alright. So.
833 above the traffic.
Wow, that sounded like garbage. Thanks, man. kind of hungry for dinner. This is kind of exhausting. Up, down, up, down, up, down. Knots, 20 degrees of flaps.
Everglades traffic, Money 5514, Quebec 11 and a half to the south inbound for 13 Everglades. Sebastian traffic, Cessna 59 Kilo. On final to runway 10, full stop, Sebastian traffic.
30 degrees of flaps. That last one. Loaded a little. That's good for today, bro. I'm tired. And a single mark that I'm all done. Hopefully he'll get the message. I'm tired. Okay.
Sebastian traffic, Cessna 59 Kilo, clear runway, Sebastian traffic.
Go. Up.
Okay, Sky King, you calling it a day?
Yeah, I'm hungry, man. This is exhausting.
I just realized I didn't push the talk button. Yeah, I need dinner, man. This is tiring. Alright, we're good. Sebastian traffic, Cessna 59 Kilo, crossing runway 10, Sebastian traffic.
Still got battery on the old GoPro. I think I've got enough stamina. Same amount of stamina as a GoPro. It's tired. I'm tired. I'm sure it's gonna quit soon. Yeah. Here we are. Back to the old hangar. Off we go. into the wild blue yonder, climbing high into the sun, here to come up to meet our thunder. Got a boy, give her the gun. Alright. Probes nav landing. Bye.
Second to the last one. That's good. I mean, you're just squeaking along.